What is it about the Fallout franchise that draws the eye of so many people in the gaming market? Is it the expansive lore? Or the day's worth of quests, side quests, and radiant quests? Well, maybe it's the vast amount of characters, or the game's ability to suck us in and immerse us in the world. However, I believe there is an underlying factor of Fallout that really draws us in, and that's the game's purity. Now, what does that mean? That sounds really weird. Why'd you say that? Well, what I mean by purity is the fact that Fallout hasn't really succumbed to all the slimy practices found tainting the gaming industry nowadays. I mean, when you purchase a Fallout game, you know you're not getting $30 worth of content for your $60. It's a sound investment that proves it's worth every cent. The only real questionable things, in my opinion, that Fallout 4 introduced was the Creation Club. I mean, paid mods and skins.
How about new?
And the inclusion of a season pass for the game's DLC. However, this brief intro will tie into the final point of this video a little more. So, we'll come back to this later. But for now, let's talk about Fallout New Vegas and its possible, maybe, potential sequel, maybe. I will be referencing online charts, articles, and a video made by Legacy Killer HD, which will be linked in the description. So without further ado, let's get into this. Fallout New Vegas was a very interesting and special addition to the Fallout family, in that it was produced mainly by a third-party developer, Obsidian Entertainment. Obsidian is made up of a bunch of ex-Black Isle members who worked on Fallout 2 and the cancelled Van Buren project, which would have turned into Fallout 3 had it been completed. Fallout New Vegas, despite a lot of bugs and glitches, was a commercial success nonetheless. So it makes sense for Fallout New Vegas to get a sequel, right? Even the executive producer for Bethesda, Todd Howard, said it would make sense for Fallout New Vegas to get a sequel produced by Obsidian Entertainment. I mean, as Legacy stated in his video, Obsidian clearly believed that they were a permanent part of the Fallout franchise after Fallout New Vegas was released. I mean, they even openly stated that they're the West Coast guys, and that they believe that Bethesda are the East Coast guys. You know, because Bethesda made Fallout 3 and 4, which is Boston and the Capital Wasteland, and Obsidian made New Vegas, which is the Mojave Desert on the West Coast. So, just like how the 3 Call of Duty developers all get their chances to make a Call of Duty game, doesn't that mean that Obsidian should now be able to make their Fallout New Vegas sequel since Fallout 4 has been released? Well, I know there's obvious differences between how, Call of Duty and Fallout works, but nonetheless, this won't likely be the case for Fallout. Now, to get an idea on what direction the Fallout franchise is heading, I'm going to go ahead and take a quick look at the Elder Scrolls. Fast forward to 2014 and see the release of the widely popular Elder Scrolls Online. ESO has been a major source of revenue for Bethesda in the recent years, because they profit not only on the initial purchase, but also the microtransactions, and the various expansions that have and will be released. Now, according to one article from Game Informer, ESO has sold 8.5 million copies as of February 2017. To compare this to the Fallout game at the heart of this video, according to Electronic Entertainment Design and Research, Fallout New Vegas has sold 12 million copies, well, 11.5 to be more accurate, as of 2015. That's 8.5 million copies in 3 years for ESO, and 12 million copies in 5 years for Fallout New Vegas. That just shows how wildly popular the MMORPG concept for Bethesda's classically single-player games is. For the record, I'm not really a fan of the Elder Scrolls franchise. I've always been far more into Fallout. With that being said, I don't have any real personal experience with ESO, but the numbers don't lie. And neither does the outrage from the die-hard Elder Scrolls fans. Apparently, to no one's surprise, the inclusion of microtransactions angered much of the Elder Scrolls community. But alas, the game still has approximately 1 million active players each month, according to Legacy's video. But how does this tie into Fallout New Vegas and the Fallout franchise as a whole? Well, my friend, let me connect the dots so you can see the full picture. Now into the meat of this video. The most likely next step in the Fallout franchise is a Fallout Online type of MMORPG, complete with microtransactions and so many expansions you end up paying double the price of the game by the time it's all said and done. As much as all true diehard Fallout fans want it, Fallout New Vegas 2 is most likely not going to be anything more than a satisfying thought, a wish, or a dream. At least for now. I could be totally wrong though. Maybe Fallout New Vegas 2 will be the next Fallout game. But based off the current trends of the gaming market and the decisions made by both Bethesda and their parent company ZeniMax regarding Elder Scrolls, I'd say a Fallout MMORPG will be the next logical step. This idea could be an interesting and engaging new way to experience the Fallout universe, but it would most likely be dampened by the ridiculous obsession with microtransactions that every game developer seems to have, and the fact that you'd most likely have to buy each and every new expansion to get the full experience, or even to play the game at all. Downloadable content is not a new concept for Fallout, we all know this. But with the less than stellar reviews for Fallout 4's downloadable content and its apparent lack of content and creativity, barring Nuka World and Far Harbor of course, it's apparent that Bethesda is succumbing to these bad practices regarding DLC. Granted, it may not all be Bethesda's fault, but they do have a part to play in it. I'm not going to dive too deep into my opinions regarding Fallout 4 and its comparison to Fallout 3 or New Vegas, but the small tidbit about DLC should suffice to support my point about why a Fallout MMORPG only sounds good on paper in the modern gaming market with the modern trends that are being followed by developers. When all is said and done, a Fallout MMORPG is the most likely next game in the franchise, and not Fallout New Vegas 2. This could mean your secure investment in the next iteration of the Fallout franchise may not be worth the amount listed on the price tag, unless of course you spend extra money on microtransactions and expansions. It's a scary thought honestly, and it truly would break my heart to see Fallout, one of my favorite franchises of all times, up there with Halo and Star Wars, be abused in the way so many good franchises of yesteryear have been wronged. However, if you disagree, that's wonderful. I mean, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. But if you did like the video, don't forget to drop a like, comment, and maybe even subscribe. I will be posting a video that acts as an update and a syllabus for what I plan on doing with the channel in the future. You know, I've had a lot of time to reflect. I've had a lot of things that have changed. And so, I'm looking to change my channel and how I work it and what I do in order to match those changes that have occurred in my life. Anyways, like I said, hope you enjoyed the video. Peace out.